In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always.
This incident has brought new investigations of Kim Gardner and the work of the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office. News 4's Deion Broxton spoke to supporters who want Gardner to remain in office.
Saturday, dozens rallied to support St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner.
I stand with Kim Gardner.
Attacks from state and local leaders prompted the Community Justice Coalition to fight back. This stems from Daniel Riley allegedly violating his bond and illegally driving a car that hit a teen in downtown St. Louis recently.
The whole system of injustice is guilty for that young lady losing her legs.
News 4 found Riley broke his bond more than 100 times in 2 years. This group is blaming Judge Brian Hettenbach for not keeping Riley in jail. However, court records show at least 4 judges gave Riley bond.
It is the judge who has the power to revoke the bond of someone who's facing criminal charge.
Gardner says her office made verbal motions to revoke Riley's bail 3 times. We keep asking for proof. Gardner's office hasn't given that to us.
And I physically produced them at the hearing for the committee chair.
Rudett Hudson from the Circuit Attorney's Office spoke in support of Gardner Saturday. I asked him for proof after he and others called out news outlets like News 4 for unfair coverage of Gardner.
Can you give that documentation to me?
Sure, it's a physical reality. It exists. This is saying I know that the violations have taken place.
What Hudson showed me is this document showing Judge Hettenbach knew of Riley's violations.
The court, that means the judge, has reviewed the bond. I looked at it. I looked at Riley's situation, and I leave the defendant on GPS. He made the decision to do that.
But we still don't have any physical evidence of the Circuit Attorney's Office asking for Riley's bond to be revoked. Regardless of the back and forth, this group continues to back Gardner.
And our responsibility as a community is not just to vote for her, but to stand side by side with her.
And continues to seek solutions.
But if the AG wanted to do something about crime, it wouldn't be to attack Kim Gardner. It's to make sure that we have more money to deal with crime prevention.
In North City, Deion Broxton, News 4.
Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey has subpoenaed St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones and Comptroller Darlene Green as part of his investigation into Gardner. Both city leaders have 10 days to comply with those subpoenas.
Peace forever and always. I'm your brother, Taalik Ibn'rad. This is the Realist Temple on Earth, and I'm here with my brother Zaki Baruti. Did I say that correctly, sir?
Yeah, you did state that correctly.
Yes, sir, and I'm here at the 85th anniversary celebration of the birthday of Malcolm X, and I'm here with one of the brothers that I admire, that I grew up with when I was a young man. He's one of the pillars of the St. Louis community and perhaps the nation. And Brother Zaki, could you introduce yourself again to my audience, as well as tell, because I'm pretty sure a lot of my audience are not familiar with your organization, and also explain to us the importance of Malcolm, to remember Malcolm, and black unity in general.
All right, first and foremost, let me give praise to the Creator for allowing me to be interviewed by you, and
yes,
I want to just thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share our thoughts or my thoughts with your audience. As you mentioned, my name is Zaki Baruti. I'm President General of the Universal African Peoples Organization, which was founded on April 4th, 1989, here in the city of St. Louis, Missouri. And we were founded as an extension of my candidacy for governor of the state of Missouri in 1984 and 1988. And based on the principles of the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, our organization, those pillars of his philosophical thoughts are the underpinnings of our organization. But when we went forward, we made a commitment to celebrate yearly the life and legacy of Brother Malcolm X, also known as El Haj Malik El Shabazz, as well as Brother Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and also the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. In choosing Malcolm, we chose him because he represents the best of the qualities of manhood for us as a race of people. He had a very powerful international perspective with which all of us should have in terms of understanding that our lives are interconnected. with the people on the continent of Africa, what happens in Nairobi, Kenya, or Johannesburg, South Africa, or in Libya, or in Senegal, is directly or indirectly, shall I say, have an impact on us as a people. So we have to be based on the principle that we want the total liberation of Africa, Africa for the Africans, as Brother Honorable Marcus Garvey used to teach, as well as Malcolm pushed also. And also Malcolm represents a trend of thought that as a people, we have to maintain our human rights. And that's one of the things that we love about Malcolm, because he took the struggle of civil rights to a higher plane in terms of the call for human rights, as well as his desire to internationalize what was happening to blacks here in America on an international scale to the United Nations. So that's why we say salute Malcolm. Also, Malcolm represents a transition that many young people who are facing so many negative realities that hopefully can learn from, because he went from actually a hustler, a drug pusher, a person who ended up being incarcerated, to coming out of prison through the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to be on the world stage in terms of articulating the hurt and the pain of our people sojourn here in America. So that's why those are some of the reasons why we celebrate the life and legacy of Malcolm X.
So do you think that we can progress without black unity?
Can we progress without black unity?
Yes, sir.
No, we cannot move forward without black unity. Unity has to come in order for us to overcome the many problems that beset our people, both externally as well as internally. And when we say externally, we're saying the problems emanate from a white racist system of power and control over our people here in this country and many times all across the world. So in order to counter that, we must have unity. Unity on the basic level locally, unity on a regional level throughout the country, unity nationally.
Yes, sir.
With one call. And the call that we as an organization put out is that, first of all, we need to speak that there's one God, as Honorable Marcus Garvey used to say, one goal, which he used to say one aim, and that should be the liberation of us as a people, and one destiny. And that destiny at some point in time will be the complete liberation of our people across planet Earth.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you taking the time and giving us a few minutes of your time, because I'm pretty sure you're a very busy man. And like I said, I admire you. You're one of our elders, and I want to remind my audience that because of brothers like this is the reason why I exist, and many of us, we're not doing anything different, but they are handing down a legacy so that we can carry on. So I want to thank my brother Zaki Baruti. This is your brother Taalik Ibn'rad live here at the celebration of Malcolm. This was and is the Reality's Temple on Earth.
I heard that.
Welcome to Conversations with Zaki Baruti, with your host Zaki Baruti. And like always, I want to give a shout out to my biological family. What's happening? To the Universal African Peoples Organization family, what's happening? And to New Life Evangelistics in the family, headed by Reverend Rice. Keep up the great work. And a shout out to my cameraman, Bob. On that note, we'll have another great show, because in the studio with me is a colleague that's been out on the battlefront trying to help uplift our people and speak truth to power. And I'm speaking none other than Miss Christine Hendricks. Welcome to Conversations with Zaki Baruti, Christine.
Thanks for having me again, Zaki.
Okay, then. Christine, you know, for my audience, I'll...
My black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody moving.